That's right, we don't want to forget about this one. Now this one is still up for grabs, so I'm still taking nominations on this guitar. If you'd like to follow the process of turning a block of wood like this into a guitar like this, then you've come to the right place. And if you would like to see me give this guitar away, click subscribe, hit the bell. I'm really hoping to get a lot done with Tony's guitar today. Today's one of those exciting days for me when I'm building a guitar, and that's when I start to route out the body cavities. And it's also a little bit scary because you can really mess things up really quick with the router, and you could end up having to start building your body all over again. But hey, first let's go check in on that Union Jack that I'm trying to get ready within the next couple of weeks to have that done so I can give it away. It's time to put a clean towel down. As a reminder tip, I do this to make sure that I don't have anything on there that can damage the surface, because guys, I jumped ahead. Last you saw me, I was getting ready to see if I could get this stained, and I have got it stained. I didn't film staining all of this because I have a previous video where I showed you how I stained and how I really failed the one time. It's just impossible to do. I don't even know why I use tape anymore. It just makes for more work. Yeah, look at all that bleed through. Well guys, so that was fail number one. So now with this one, once again, I just free-handed this using a small brush, pushing the stain up to the line. And what I found is that the glue line between the types of wood here, it would stop the stain from moving forward. There were a couple times where I hit it just a little bit over, and then I was just actually able to sand those little bits and pieces off. But it looks like the other one, pretty much. Once again, I'm just going to do a satin polyurethane on it and then get set up. But before I do that, I need to tape up the fretboard because I'm not going to polycoat the fretboard. As you saw with the staining mess up that I made, this does not work. This frog tape does not work for stopping stain from leaking around, but it works very well for polyurethane or for paint. Now when I'm done with the spraying, because there is tape here and because I'll be spraying polyurethane, there's going to be a little bit of a ridge right there where the polyurethane will be built up, but where I take the tape off, there won't be. So what I will do is I will use very, very fine sandpaper to go right along that edge after it's done and it's dry and it's solid. I will use a very fine sandpaper to go along that and blend it, and you won't feel the edge or really see the edge. So as I get ready to work on Tony's guitar here now, it's kind of cool because I've had some of his friends share that they're interested in helping support this project, which I think is so awesome. And you know what, I'm very thankful for it, because let me speak to those of you who don't play guitar or don't know much about guitars. You can go to a guitar store and buy a guitar for $100, really cheap guitar. The tuning machines that I use are over that. The bridge that I use costs more than that. Each one of the pickups costs more than that. The body, the wood, it's multiple times more than what one of those cheap guitars are. So I appreciate the support and help with that. What I'm going to do for those of you who want to help support this project, in particular for Tony, is I'm going to put a card together and I'm going to list all the names of the people who helped out with Tony's project. And you can help one of two ways. You can contact me via email if you just want to send a one-time help out for it. The other thing is that if you look in the description below, I do have a Patreon page. There are 3 different levels that you can support on. There's a $3, a $10, and there's a $30. If by chance you decide that you want to help out at the $30 level for this project and ongoing projects, then I'm going to send you a t-shirt, one of the t-shirts that Marnie and I had made up that say, "It's not all crap." If I need to explain it, let me just say very quickly, this year has been really hard for a lot of people. And there's a lot of struggles out there, but we got to keep being intentional about looking to the beautiful and wonderful things. As an example, Tony has gone through a lot, and this is just one way that we can bring a little joy into his life too. And so again, it's not all crap. Now, why don't I just say, hey, there's good things out there? Because there are people that I know who, when they are going through the hard stuff, they think the beautiful stuff, the good stuff, well, that's for somebody else over there. It's not for me. And I think they need to hear us say, I've experienced the crap, the hard things. I've gone through hard things, but there's hope and there's joy out there, and we got to be intentional about looking for it. Anyway, I know that's not a big deal, but just, hey, appreciate those of you who really do want to help. Thanks a lot. All right, so now let's go ahead and get at routing this out. We're going to start with the neck pocket. Once again, I'm speaking primarily to those who are new at this or maybe just trying to get into it. There are different ways to attach your template to the body. You really need to have a template in order to route these out. You can buy these online, Amazon, go to eBay, whatever, you'll find these templates. I like the thicker ones, the 3/4 inch thick templates. They just seem to be, I don't know, a little nicer to use in my mind. I know where my pickups are going to go, and so I put a screw through into where those pickups are going to go because I'm going to be routing out those cavities anyway, and so the screw hole won't make any difference. You can tape them to the body using double stick tape. A lot of guys do that. I've done that too. I have also had it where the template has moved on me and then I've had to fix or start over. So when I can, I like to screw the template down. So typically when I do a guitar build, I'm putting these templates at a 1.5 to a 3 degree angle so that that guitar neck is angled back. This one, I'm not doing that because I'm using a Strat neck and I'm going to set it up with a Strat type bridge, and I'm just going to go straight across. Now to do this, I'm going to go down to 5/8 of an inch in depth on my neck pocket, and it's going to be just a parallel with the body top neck pocket, 5/8 of an inch. That will keep the neck up high enough that where the bridge is at, as you run a straight line down there, you're going to be able to adjust the bridge just slightly so you can get your strings really getting close. If you set your neck too deep and you have a straight or a parallel neck pocket, you may end up with a gap that you can't get low enough to really get good action on your neck. So you want to leave that neck up just a little bit higher. If you tilt it back, then I go lower. Then I oftentimes will go to about, well, anywhere from 11/16 to 13/16, depending on how much of an angle I've got and what bridge I'm using. But this one I'm going to try this way. The other reason why I'm doing it first is that if I put it in flat at 5/8 of an inch and I decide, no, after setting it up, looking at it, I do want to go ahead and do the tilted back, I can still route it because I'm going to go deeper to route it at that angle. So that's why I do it that way. And I'm going to use this first with the template, then I'll take the template off, and then I can finish out the neck pocket because it's going to be flat or parallel with the body top. I can take the template off and go ahead and finish it. If I was at the angle, I would need to leave the template on the entire time because I need that angle. Do just a little test fit. See how it. Oh, that's really great. And then what I do is I've got a little bit here which I knew I was going to have a little extra because I give myself a little extra on these edges here, and I will draw a line around this, and then on the back here I will shave off just a little bit as well. If I look a little warm and a little sweaty, it's because I am. It's like 95 degrees out there today. By the middle of this week, it's supposed to be hitting 100 plus. So it's a warm week. So, and it's humid out there. If there is any advice that I could give that could be very helpful, don't get ahead of yourself. It's real easy to think, oh, okay, I got the neck pocket. While I'm at it, I'll route these out. But don't do that until you get your neck set in place. Take the time, make sure that everything's lining up the way you want it to. Your bridge and your neck, that's going to be the important thing, that those are where they need to be before you go routing anything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my template out. I'm going to mark where I would need to drill my holes. I'm actually going to attach the neck to the body, and then I'm going to put the shallow bridge on here, and I'm going to make sure that my lines are lining up the way they're going to have to in order to have a really, really good playing guitar. My screw is an 11/64, so I will use an 11/64 inch bit to go through the body because I want this to be able to slide through fairly easy and not get stuck in there. That way I can get the body and the neck to be tight together. I know I've gone over this in other videos, but maybe you're a first-time watcher. So make sure that this slides through the body and it'll be tight within the neck. I'm going to use the ferrules, and I'm going to try one in a piece of scrap wood first. Make sure that my bit is the right size. Now that I've got the neck on, I am going to double check the length of the neck, and I'm going to find out where this bridge will be going, and then I'm going to use a straight edge to make sure that it all lines up the way it's supposed to. So first off, just so you know, neck lengths come at a various different lengths, and from this nut to the 12th fret on this one is 12 3/8. So that means I need to go from here down to 12 3/8 is going to be the line at which the front of my bridge saddles are going to come. So 12, 1, 2, 3. Can go back a little bit actually. So 12 3/8 and 12 3/8 makes for a 24 3/4 inch neck. So what I have here is a Stratocaster style neck, but because I like the 24 3/4 inch length, which is a Gibson scale, that's what I got here. So this is a Gibson scale, straight 12-inch radius, 24 3/4 inch neck. I will set my straight edge along my fretboard and come up here and see how I line up, and that is, oh man, just sitting like that with the saddles down. My saddles are pretty much all the way down right now, and my straight edge rolls right into that roller. Perfect. Pretty much when I set it up, I like to go down until I get fret buzz, and then I basically just crank these up about a quarter of a turn until I don't have fret buzz, and then that's as low as it can go without the fret buzz. The other thing that I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some lines. I'm going to use the same straight edge, and I'm going to make some lines here with my pencil. Very lightly, not pushing very hard at all, because I want those to sand off real easy. I'm just coming up along my neck, holding it so that it's going with the neck there. And I'm doing that just to help me to make sure that as I center my bridge, get that right where it needs to be, and get my pickup cavities routed out. what I'll do is I'm just gonna use this bridge because I'm gonna buy the exact same bridge. This bridge is gonna go on that Union jack, but I'm gonna get the same bridge, and so I'm just gonna use this one right now to set this setup in place, and then I can mark and know exactly where my EMG pickups need to go. I don't think I mentioned that. I'm gonna put EMGs in here, EMG 81X and EMG SA-X is my plan. That's right, we don't want to forget about this one. I've got some sanding to do on this, and then I can get to the place where I'm ready to stain this guitar. Now this one is still up for grabs, so I'm still taking nominations on this guitar. I'm going to give this away. I hope I'll be able to do this, hoping anyway, in the next month to month and a half that this one will be finished, and I'll be able to give this away too. So, giving this guitar away. Obviously, if you are a Prince fan, you might recognize the body style. There are a couple of friends and fellow musicians that played with Prince who own and play my guitars, which is kind of an honor. I feel pretty humbled, and I think it's kind of crazy that that's the reality, but it is. So anyway, this is my own design though, because it's semi-hollow body, and yeah, a little bit different. Got full permission from Dave Roussan, who built Prince's original, to do this. So, and if you haven't checked out my interviews with Dave Roussan, maybe you want to go check those out too. I want to show you what happens when I find a nice piece of wood at a garage sale and then find a sewing cabinet, an old antique sewing cabinet. This is what happens when a guy that builds guitars decides to build a sideboard